What's up, y'all? This is my first day in Ireland. I'm in Dublin. I'm in a hotel right now, and I got some good sleep last night. Walked around Dublin for the first time today. Just ate food at a Mexican place, not an Irish place, but it was right on the River Liffey. And the River Liffey runs through Dublin. And this is my first take on Dublin, alright? I am an American, but I do have Irish roots. My last name is Sullivan. And Sullivan, I read online, is the third, not sure if it's continuous or current, third most populous last name in Ireland at the time of the article that I read. So, this video, what's my first take on Ireland? Actually, it's more like what's my first take on Dublin. Beautiful little city. It's very, very similar, in my opinion, to London, but condensed. It's like a condensed form of London, in my opinion. You got the River Thames that goes through London. You got a bunch of bridges. Dublin also has this. In London, you have many pubs, many historical sites. Dublin also has this. But it's, in my opinion, it's smaller, and that's better. I like it. It feels more like a community town. It feels like you can walk everywhere. It feels, it has a smaller feel. And I really, really like that about Dublin. I love all the Irish pubs everywhere you walk. On every street, you got a few. They all got some nice paint. Red, green, orange, yeah. Lots of green, lots of orange, because that's the Irish flag. Green, white, orange. People are nice. They speak English. They have an Irish accent. I really like the Irish accent. It's very unique. Very, very unique. And as someone with an Irish heritage, just hearing the Irish accent, it does make me feel some sort of pride within, you know, because I heard all the stories growing up of my family. My grandfather was actually from Boston, and my great-great-great-grandfather was actually from Ireland, but from Cork, which is in the south. So hearing that accent kind of brings back all those memories of just hearing about the pride of the Irish. And when we were kids, we would root for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, which is a famous college football team and university in the States. And they're called the Fighting Irish. Not sure why. I'm assuming it's because the Catholic priests founded the university. But anyways, first take on Dublin and Ireland is amazing. It's beautiful. And I would put this up there, even only having been here for one day. I would put Dublin up there in my top 5 cities in Europe already after one day. And I've been to many of them. I've been to London, I've been to Amsterdam, I've been to Rome, I've been to Madrid and Barcelona. But I would put Dublin up there as a top 5. It's walkable, like I said. It's quaint, beautiful. Yeah, definitely worth coming to. So, yeah, that's my first reaction, and I'm going to post this online because one day I'm going to have kids, and I'm going to say, hey, kids, this video was from my first day in Ireland. I also got into a bar fight, which is perfect because I've always wanted to get into a bar fight, and I figured Dublin would be the perfect place to do it. That was a 100% lie. But I did walk by this Irish dude who was getting kicked out of a pub, which I guess is not stereotypical, but it sounded funny because the guy was yelling in a super deep Irish accent, and I was just like, figures, he's in an Irish bar, and the bouncers were about to punch him. So that was kind of funny. Not really having anything to do with the city of Dublin, but it happened to me today. What else happened? That's my first reaction. There's not much more to say because I don't know that much about it. And I guess sometimes when you talk about cities, it's pretty simple, you know? I really like that. The more I travel, the more I realize that every place you go is very, very... It's the same on the subconscious level. So, like, this is the ground level of life in cities. Above ground, every city is different. Above ground meaning, like, the language they speak, the food they eat, the people that live there, you know? Irish people live in Dublin. Spanish people live in Madrid. You know, like, above ground, everything's different. But underground, subconscious, every city is the same, you know? They all have to eat food. They all listen to music. They all, you know, have families and work. So it is cool when you go to different cities and you see, yes, they're the same in a certain sense. And that's what connects human beings together. You know, they have public transportation, they have restaurants, they have beers, they have their own beers, which is unique and fun to see. They speak the language, they, you know, have relationships with people, and this is cool. So being here confirms that again, and just shows me another side, you know, the above ground. It shows me another side of the world. beautiful, man. Ireland, the city's symbol, or I think the symbol of the country, or one of the main symbols of the country, is the harp. You'll see a lot of harps everywhere. It's the logo for the Guinness beer company is a harp. One of the bridges in downtown Ireland downtown Dublin over the river is actually in the shape of a harp. Very, very cool. You'll see the Irish flag everywhere. Irish pride is big. I also learned that the national game of Ireland is not soccer or football or foosball as it is in most countries in Europe, but it is actually Gaelic football, which is a combination between soccer and rugby. So that's cool. They have there's a final match. I'm here on Sunday, and next Saturday there's actually the final match of Irish Gaelic football. I'm going to try to see if I can go to that. What else? Yeah. That's pretty much it from what I've seen so far. I'm excited to explore, like I said before, more of the place. Yeah, that's my first reaction. I could see myself living here, you know? I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just that I feel welcome, like this place is welcoming, or maybe it's like in my blood, you know? Because when you do go back to a country of your heritage, you do feel like a little bit at home. Like all the street names are such Irish names. All the pubs names, all the restaurants names, they're such Irish names. My sister's name is Casey, and for lunch today I ate at a place called Casey. It's called Casey Peaches. And apparently that is a chain restaurant in Ireland. So I sent a picture of that to my sister and I said, look, Casey, I ate at your restaurant today. Then I walk down the street after I eat and I run into a building with the last name of, what is the last name? Oh, O'Brien. Last name O'Brien. And my dad's best friend, my godfather's last name is O'Brien. That's very cool too. So many different things. Everything's Irish, obviously. It's different for an American because in America it's such a melting pot. There are people from literally every country, especially in Los Angeles, and that's where I grew up. Everywhere you go, you know, you go to school and people's last names are from every place in the world, you know. So that's very awesome and cool. And sometimes you forget as an American growing up in Los Angeles that you go to different countries and it's like legitimately concentrated 95% that culture. So being in an Irish culture, it's interesting because you go by the pubs, it's like McCallahan's and O'Shea's and Sullivan's and all that type of thing. So that's cool. Oh, also, there was a building with the last name Davenport, or the building's name was Davenport, and my sister, who is a Sullivan, was married last year to a Davenport. So now her last name is Davenport, and so we keep the Irish tradition alive too. So that was cool. That's it. Goodbye. See you tomorrow, maybe. Who knows?